So he was like, are you comfortable sending me nudes? I'm like, okay, I'll send you it. I'll send you it. What's good? What's pop, you guys? And welcome back to Toyosi TV. So this is part 2 of that Indy horror story that I did mention. So if you guys didn't see part 1, definitely go watch it, because let me tell you something. You gotta watch part 1 in order to understand this one. So this is a continuation with it. This is now months after. My apartment still does not feel like a home to me. So I left Indy in January. So now I'm moving this January. The uncle from the first part that referred me to Tunde, now I blocked Tunde, and I told my mom that I'm never using Tunde again. He made me feel really uncomfortable in the comfort of my own home. Can you imagine? My sacred sanctuary. Yeah, you out of your damn mind. I think the problem was we was going to this uncle to get sources, because the sources that he was giving us was just garbage. Now he give me another guy, but this time I'm like, yo, I don't want no Nigerians. Like, you've been in Indy for like majority of life. He gave me a Puerto Rican guy this time, right? This guy seemed very professional in the beginning. Let's say his name was Roger. I was texting Roger in the beginning. He was like, oh, let's schedule a call for later in the week so we could get better acquainted with each other, because I'm coming to your house and I want to make sure you're safe, and I want to make sure I feel safe in your apartment too. And I'm just like, oh, so this man know what he's doing. Like, he's very professional, very on point, very timely. I get on the phone with Roger. He's like, hey, I'm Roger, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna be helping you move on like January 17th. And at this time, make sure, like, if you need me to get a U-Haul, just let me know. Very professional. Like, when he's talking to me on the phone, very professional. He's texting me. I'm like, okay, I'll get the U-Haul truck, this, that, and the third. He's like, okay, what materials? Like, what are you actually packing up? I'm like, I'm packing up my whole crib, this, that, and the third. Mind you, he asked me for my address to see the location and how far it was. So I didn't think anything of it. I'm thinking this man lives nearby, but he lives on the other side of town. I don't even know. I think he lives in the east. And to be honest, I swear, once you get out of New York, these states be like, I live on the south side, I live on the north side, I live on the east side, I live on the west side, bro. I don't care what side you live on. Just know that I'm trying to get outside of this state. That's the only side I'm trying to be on. When I seen him, I forgot his name, because to be honest, you just gonna help me move. I forgot his name. So I'm like, hey, he's like, yeah, I'm at the gate. Can you let me in? I'm like, oh, okay, so the code is. Now let me tell you something. I hated being in the gated community, because if a guy knew the code to get in, that man could have just got in whenever he felt like, and F stuff up for me, to be honest. Yeah, so he got to the apartment, him and his friend just moving stuff, but I'm helping them move. But in the midst of me moving, I have my vlogging camera, because if y'all seen in this video when I was talking about me moving, y'all would have seen that I did vlog some moments when I was moving. So that's why I had my camera on me. So he kind of noticed that, like, I was holding a camera, but he didn't really know why. At this point in my Indy journey, I'm thinking I'm coming back to Indy when the office opens back up. So this is in January. We were told in January, in June, that there's a possibility that they're gonna open the office back up. So I'm like, okay, let me just put in a storage unit. So when I have to come back to Indy and work, I just have to take it out of the storage and put it in a new apartment. Let me just backtrack a little bit. One thing that you guys need to know is that, as I said, I was making conversation with him, but I wasn't really talking. Like, we on a time frame. So with the Nigerian guy, I didn't know his price. Like, he wasn't charging an hourly rate. With this guy now, with Roger, he's now charging an hourly rate, and I think his hourly rate was 50. If I'm not lying, yeah, it was 50. It was 50, I guess, because of 2 people, and it was 50 for the both of them. So it wasn't like 50 for one person, 50 for the next. It was 50 for the both of them, and they was trying to get up, get out. I thought that was cheap. He's like, it's not gonna take me more than 2 hours to get your stuff and get out, based off the distance from your apartment to the storage unit. So I said, okay. So now I'm opening the storage unit, and I'm helping them move the stuff from the U-Haul truck into the storage unit. Because I'm like, bro, y'all are on a time frame, and I'm paying y'all per hour. So I'm trying to make sure y'all are out of here by 2 hours. Roger is talking more to me, and I'm gonna call his friend Raymond. Roger and Raymond. Raymond was the Caucasian guy, Roger's the Puerto Rican guy. So now Roger's like, oh, he's talking more, right? So now, I don't know. Indy guys, they're so weird. Just so weird. I don't know if it's in the air, but you're just so weird. And I know he's watching this. let me just sidetrack for a little bit. I know you watching this because I done found out that you are one of the fake pages watching me on Instagram. So if you watching this, hey, what's up, Roger? I still don't remember your name, but we're gonna call you Roger for this video. And it's really giving stalkerish. Like, I'm gonna let you know right now, I ain't like you from jump. I ain't like you off rip, and I still don't like you to this day. And let me let you know that you was wildin' for all the stuff that you said to me, because I really did not like you, okay? As I told you, remember Tunde did say, oh, you live in a nice apartment. So Roger said the same thing too. Roger was like, yeah, you live in a nice apartment. Yeah, how much are you paying for it? Me and Raymond wanted to know how much you're paying for it. I was like, oh, I'm paying over 1K per month. He was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's so good. Like, how old are you? I'm like, I'm old enough to have, mind you, I learned my lesson from Tunde. I'm like, yeah, I'm old enough to be living on my own, so that's all you gotta know. He was like, oh yeah, that's cool, yeah. So what is your occupation? Knowing the lessons that I learned from Tunde, you don't even want to tell this man what company you working at. So I'm like, yeah, I work in the finance industry here. I moved from New York. I moved here for work. He was like, oh, that's cool. So you making money. You making a lot of money. I like that. I like a girl about her money. I like her getting her coins and everything. The whole time, so I could divert the conversation, I'm asking him about himself. One thing about me is I'm a laugh. I am a laugher, and if you know me personally, you know one thing that's contagious about me is my laugh. So if a guy, and I realize guys take it the wrong way. Like, I can literally smile, but I'm just in such a good mood, to be honest. It's not that I like you. I guess he's thinking like I'm laughing, I'm smiling with him. He's thinking like I'm probably interested in him. That's not the case, my guy. I'm sorry, I don't really like you like that. I don't see you like that. So it got to a point where he was like, him and Raymond was looking at a Caucasian girl on Instagram, and they asked me a question. They was like, oh, do you think this girl is fire? I'm like, yeah, she's very cute, very beautiful. He was like, oh, because yeah, I was trying to hit that. I'm looking at this man like, bro, when did the conversation divert to this? Like, bro, what? And I'm telling you, it was mad random. Like, the same way that the conversation just shifted from me, like, just talking about, like, where I live, like, where I work, to, like, about hitting that. I'm just sitting there like, yo, what's good with this man? So I'm like, bro, yeah, at this point, I got 2 more items to put in my storage unit so y'all could go. So now they're done, right? I pay them off, but I give them tip because, as I told you, I'm still in the mindset that I'm coming back to Indy, so I need movers. So one thing that you want to do to create a good relationship, a lasting relationship, is you want to make sure you pay somebody and you also tip them for their services. So I must have tipped him like $30. So they was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. He probably thinking I'm rich to this day. To be honest, Roger, I got money, but not money for you. Sorry, I'm just gonna say that right now. I'm broke. Yeah, I'm broke. I'm broke for you. Now, this is when things start to get weird, because now your girl, she got receipts. So let's really talk about these messages, because this boy is crazy. Mind you, as I told you, he noticed that I had a vlogging camera. So he asked me when we were moving, he was like, oh, like, why do you have a camera with you? I'm like, oh yeah, I do YouTube. He was like, oh really, what's your name? Like, let me subscribe to your channel. I'm like, oh, it's Toyosi TV. So I guess in the midst of me leaving back to New York, the man was already doing his research on me just by my YouTube channel. And one thing about me, I don't care if you find out my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I didn't really care. Like, he looked like he was more intrigued about my life than I was about his. February 28th, he texted me, ever try M or psychedelics? So he just texted me. He's like, he asked me a random question, and I told you, when I was sitting in front of him, he asked me like, oh, is this girl cute? Because I hit it. And I don't know, that man is weird. Roger, you're just weird. You're just a weirdo. I don't think you know how to talk to girls, and I don't think you ever had a girlfriend, because the way you just went straight into like having conversations with me, it was just so weird. So he was like, you ever try M or psychedelics? Bro, there's Google. I knew what the hell that was, but I just asked him, I'm like, what is that? He texted me at 1 a.m. Bro, why are you texting me at 1 a.m.? Who the hell are you to be texting my phone, bro? This is a professional relationship, bro. Do not make this personal. I only know you for being a mover. Do not try to make a move on me, okay? Because I'm not the one. I do not like you, bro. I said, what is that? He like mushrooms. And mind you, that's February 28th. He's now texting me on March 2nd. mushrooms, acid, or Molly. As you can see, I don't have no deleted messages. I do not have any deleted messages. The Ori on that boy is not correct. Like, his head is not on correctly, bro. So now a month passed. He texted me, how are you, on April 2nd. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, what's good? Like, how are you? He's like, yo, you doing good? You still in New York? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I am in Indy. How's Indy? He's like, Indy's so lame. So basically, he just talking. I'm like, whatever. He's basically like, when you come back to Indy, like, let me know so we can hang out. And I'm just like, bro, why you can't come to New York? I think one of the things that really turned me off, like, not even to say that this boy was attractive, but I think another turn off was that, like, he was like, oh, when you coming to Indy? If you want to see me, all you gotta do is come and see me for once. If you want to come and see me, bro, you come to New York, okay? Because I'm not going to Indy. There's, just like you said, Indy is boring. Why would I want to come to Indy? I have to basically take the rest off of the screen because this is where stuff really gets crazy. Let me tell y'all guys something. For y'all guys that's watching, if a girl does not text you back in a timely fashion, she does not care. She does not want to talk to you, okay? Communication is key. That's exactly what I was lacking for this guy, Roger, okay? He's like, okay, we can hang out. I'm like, yeah, we can. He's like, just to let you know, I checked you out the whole time. I'm like, what you mean by that? He was like, I was being professional, but I was very attracted to you. If this is a line I shouldn't cross, I'm very sorry. Mind you, I told you, I need this guy to help me with my moving when I came back to Indy. So I'm being very nice, not thinking anything of it, but my stupid self, I didn't learn from Tunde, and I wouldn't learn from Roger. You see my stupid self, I be? So I'm like, oh no, you good? Like, I didn't think he was talking about, like, he liked me. Like, I'm just like, oh, you checked me out? Like, I was looking crazy. Like, you feel me? Like, really crazy. And one thing about me is, like, if I don't like a guy, I'm not really wearing form-fitting clothing. I'm wearing really loose and comfortable clothing. I pick comfort over couture for guys that I don't like. So he's like, yeah, I checked your body out. Like, I like your boobs. I like your butt. I'm just like, yo, this man is crazy. All I'm thinking about in my head is like, yo, where did this uncle find these people from? Like, he's really crazy. He wants to do nasty things to me. He's been fantasizing about me. I'm just reading these messages like, bro, I just need you to move my stuff, bro. And even if you did like me, why didn't you give me free services, you bum? Like, you really a bum-ass guy. Like, you're really a bum. Why didn't you give me free services if you liked me? Think about that. So he was like, are you comfortable sending me nudes? I'm like, okay. I'll send you it. I'll send you it. Guess what? If you adore her, what Dior her? I start sending him Dior nude lip glosses. Because if you adore me, what Dior me? Go buy me lip glosses. Because I was actually looking at them lip glosses for a while. And they cost like $40 to $50. Yeah, go buy that for me. So then he writes me. He's like, oh, stop playing. Send me the pic of them nudes. I sent him a Google picture that was like a poster for like breast cancer awareness month, so it was just a bunch of boobs on the screen. He was like, this is why I like you. I'm like, I'm not trying to be funny and like trying to entertain you. I'm just trying to sit here, like make sure you gonna help me move my stuff when I move back to Indy. But you know what? I really should have gave up after he asked me to send the nudes because I felt like at that point, that boy was moving too fast and he was out of his mind. Like, I don't know what's wrong with Roger, but you wildin'. So yeah, I blacked on homie. Like, I really blacked on him, to be honest. I don't know, this boy is drunk. Like, he really must be tipsy, because common sense is really not common in that state, to be honest. So this is what he writes me. And I'm like, never once when I texted you did I say your services are bad. I said you were very professional, but you took it real personal. You went from 0 to 100 real quick, my guy. And you need to lower your tone, because you could definitely get hit, bro. Stop playing with me, because I'm not the one. After he sent me that, I sent him the psychiatric ward. And bro, I said, yeah, I violated. Just know that mover, yo, Roger, bro, let me just tell you something, Roger. Like, I know you watching this because you watch me from a fake page on Instagram. And let me tell you something. If you're gonna have a fake page, number one cardinal rule, do not have that fake page linked to your phone number. You're a joke. and it's giving low life. Like, but to be honest, all the guys that try to hit on me in Indy, it was like clip for all of them. Like, I did not like any guy in Indy. Like, you gotta understand, I'm not from Indy. I don't wanna create a family in Indy. I do not wanna have a relationship in Indy. I do not wanna be in Indy. So please, don't try it. Well, I mean, that's the ending of my Indy horror story, bro. It was really just a hot mess. From the moving to Indy to getting movers, those two crazy movers, bro, it was just a hot mess. So if you thought my Indy moving horror stories was a hot mess, give it a thumbs up, because let me tell you something. The stuff that I went through in that state, in that city, in that place, in that neighborhood was just outrageous, okay? Comment down below what you guys would have done in my situation if you had two movers come over to your crib, make you feel uncomfortable. Comment down below what y'all would have done. And for y'all that don't know the vibes, subscribe. I'm definitely going to be coming back with more Toyosi travel tales. I still got more stories on Indy, but you know what? I'm going to let Indy simmer down for now, because it's just bringing back trauma. You feel me? It's bringing back trauma. And right now, for the end of 2021, we're not even trying to dwell on the trauma that I experienced in the first half of the year. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.